Rosé, the untold story behind the spotlight. When you think of BLACKPINK's Rosé, you might instantly imagine her on stage, radiant, confident, belting out high notes. But behind the glamour and global fame lies a story of a young woman named Park Chae-young, also known as Roseanne Park, who juggled two worlds long before she ever set foot in a K-pop studio. Today, we're venturing beyond the stage lights to explore Rosé's personal journey, the childhood that shaped her, the grueling trainee life she almost gave up on, and the deeply private way she navigates fame, family, and even rumors about her love life. A tale of two worlds. Rosé was born on February 11, 1997 in Auckland, New Zealand, to South Korean immigrant parents. As a toddler, she was already splitting time between the Korean language at home and an English-speaking environment outside. Then, at age 7, her family uprooted once again, this time moving to Melbourne, Australia. Overnight, she was thrust into a Hannah Montana double life, as she likes to call it. Korean Chae-young at church on Sunday, Aussie Roseanne at school on Monday. Growing up, Rosé had a normal, tight-knit family, an older sister named Alice, a cozy suburban home, and even a dog running around the yard. What wasn't so typical was her relationship with music. She'd spend hours tinkering on the old piano in the living room, resisting formal lessons at first, but eventually falling so in love with it, she'd practice until midnight, often belting out notes at the top of her lungs. Her parents took turns telling her, "Quiet down, we're trying to sleep." As Rosé tells it, her dad was the one who nudged her toward K-pop stardom, partly because he saw her raw passion, and partly because he was tired of hearing her sing at ungodly hours. This blend of strict parenting, encouragement, and comedic moments shaped Rosé's belief that music was her true calling. Little did she know how massive a step she was about to take. Chasing the dream, from Australia to Seoul. In 2012, when Rosé was just 15, YG Entertainment announced they'd be holding auditions in Sydney. The idea of a Melbourne girl joining a Korean entertainment company seemed impossible. Even Rosé admitted, "I didn't think there was much of a chance. I was living so far from Korea that it never really occurred to me as a possibility." Yet her father persisted. "Just try, it can't hurt." So Rosé hopped on a flight to Sydney and ended up outperforming 700 other hopefuls, grabbing the top spot in the audition. This surreal victory turned her world upside down. Within 2 months, she moved to Seoul, alone. She was only 16, leaving behind her friends, her school, her family, and the comfortable life she'd known. She even had to drop out of high school to sign as a YG trainee. Imagine being that young in a country you barely know, all for a dream you're not 100% sure will come true. Rosé has spoken about the loneliness she felt in those early months. She'd cry to her parents over video calls at night, sometimes wishing she could just hop on the next plane back to Melbourne. When her dad offered to bring her home if it got too tough, Rosé refused. She had promised herself and the skeptical friends back home that she was going to become a singer. She wasn't about to give up. 4 years of obstacles, the trainee era. K-pop is known for having an intense, competitive training system. Rosé stepped into a world of rigorous dance and vocal lessons. Language practice, yes, she had to polish her Korean skills. Strict dietary rules, and relentless pressure. The schedules were grueling. Sometimes practice continued until dawn. Rosé once called herself the worst trainee, not because she lacked ability, but because she lacked confidence. Surrounded by people who seemed to sing and dance effortlessly, she felt intimidated. So she devised a strategy. Wait until the other trainees left, then practice alone in an empty studio. No watchful eyes, no one to judge her hesitations. Sometimes she'd stay up all night, singing until her voice cracked, dancing until her legs ached. But at sunrise, she'd experience a small burst of joy thinking, "I practiced well, maybe I can do this." It was during one morning practice that a trainer singled her out for praise. Please clap for Lisa and Chae-young. For Rosé, it was huge. Lisa was known as the top dancer, and being placed on that pedestal alongside Lisa felt like proof that her late-night struggles weren't in vain. Rosé started believing that all the tears and exhaustion could lead to something big. The debut and new challenges. After 4 long years, Rosé finally got her wish. She debuted as the last member of BLACKPINK in August 2016. On the outside, it seemed she'd fulfilled every teenager's fantasy. Overnight stardom, chart-topping hits, music videos racking up millions of views. But Rosé quickly realized fame had its own pressures. She'd dreamed of performing on stage, yes, but now she found herself in front of massive crowds, with cameras tracking her every movement. Beneath the bright smiles and flawless performances, she still battled insecurities. Despite her success, Rosé would sometimes compare herself to more self-assured idols, wishing she had that fearless aura. She's admitted, "I'm very insecure about it. Confidence is something I'm working on every single day." Even after becoming part of one of the world's biggest girl groups, that sense of self-doubt lingered. It's a reminder that no matter how big you get, personal anxieties can still run deep. Coping with global fame and unexpected breaks. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic forced BLACKPINK to hit pause on promotions and tours, a stark contrast to their usual jam-packed schedule. Rosé, who describes herself as a workaholic, struggled with this sudden downtime. She developed shingles, a painful condition often triggered by stress. With shows canceled and the future uncertain, she confessed to worrying, "What if people stop caring about us by the time this ends?" But in that forced break, Rosé also found a chance to breathe. She started tuning into her own feelings and recharging mentally. She experimented with the idea of being more introverted, leaving parties early, relishing quiet nights at home with a guitar. Some of her friends teased her about becoming a hermit, but she realized she needed this space to reconnect with herself and reflect on what she wanted out of life besides endless performances. Personal struggles and mental health. Fame brought another uninvited guest: online negativity. Rosé experienced it firsthand when fans discovered her private Instagram account, something she'd kept under wraps to share personal moments with close friends. Once it went public, anti-fans and gossip sites pounced, leaving hurtful comments that made her feel exposed. She broke down in tears, recalling how violated she felt. It's easy to forget that behind those glamorous photos are real emotions that can be deeply bruised by internet bullying. As the years went by, Rosé opened up more about her mental health. She'd say things like, "I used to think crying was a sign of weakness, but now I realize it's just part of caring deeply." In an interview, she even choked up discussing how learning to embrace her emotional side made her more genuine on stage and in her personal life. It marked a shift from that once shy trainee who hid in studios at night to someone unafraid to speak about her vulnerabilities. Family and friendship, the roots that keep her grounded. Through every up and down, family remained Rosé's anchor. Despite living continents apart, her parents and sister show up whenever they can, whether it's a surprise backstage visit or a simple dinner in Seoul. She jokes that she doesn't go out much, calling herself a homebody who loves having her mom over at her apartment, cooking comfort meals and chatting about life. And of course, there's BLACKPINK. Rosé often calls them her second family. They endured the same grueling trainee years, faced the same whirlwind of sudden fame, and hold each other up when times get tough. She realized, especially during her 2021 solo debut, how much she leaned on the other 3 members for moral support. She'd ring them on the phone. "Is it normal that I feel terrified without you guys?" And they'd reassure her that she had everything it took to shine on her own. Those simple pep talks meant the world, reminding her she wasn't alone in navigating the pressure. Love and relationships, the eternal mystery. Now let's address one of the biggest questions: Rosé's love life. Fans are endlessly curious about who she might be dating, but K-pop idols are notoriously private, especially those from major labels like YG. Early in her career, Rosé was under a strict dating ban, designed to keep idols focused on training and appearances. Over time, those rules have relaxed, but she's never publicly confirmed any relationship. She even acknowledged how abnormal that is, mentioning in a 2024 interview that it's not normal to hide everything. But she also feels no desire to broadcast her personal affairs. For Rosé, her music speaks more honestly than any rumor or confirmation ever could. That hasn't stopped gossip from swirling, from linking her to actor Kang Dong-won to pairing her with GOT7's Mark over coincidental Instagram posts. Each time, either YG Entertainment denies it or Rosé stays silent, and eventually the rumor fades. Interestingly, one rumor she did directly address involved Jaden Smith. Fans speculated her track Toxic Till the End might be about him. In a playful lie detector test for a magazine feature, Rosé flat out said, "No." She explained Jaden is just a good friend. She laughed, saying she missed him, but that's about it. Nothing romantic there. Similarly, in late 2024, photos emerged of her with Evan Mock, the actor from the Gossip Girl reboot, on what looked like a vacation in Hawaii. Fans freaked out, but Rosé offered no official comment. So far, it's just guesswork. Ultimately, Rosé has a mature stance. She'd rather focus on her craft than feed the rumor mill. If ever she does confirm a relationship, she'll do it on her own terms. Until then, she's content letting fans interpret her songs however they wish. And so, Park Chae-young, the girl who once practiced guitar alone late at night, stands as Rosé, an icon known not just for her angelic vocals, but for her resilience, sincerity, and willingness to show the world that even the brightest stars struggle sometimes. For her fans, she's more than a celebrity. She's a reminder that staying genuine and kind can coexist with chasing the highest dreams. As Rosé herself might say, "Everything I need is on the ground," a nod to the simple truths that keep her grounded amidst the frenzy of pop stardom. So, what do you think about Rosé's rise from a musical kid in Australia to an MBE-holding global superstar? Let me know in the comments, and if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.